On to part 2. Homework paper 13, part 2, and this part is calculator based. Let's go. Write 1/4 as a decimal. 0.25. With this being calculator based, you can just type in a fraction, like that, and then press the S to D button, 0.25. There and there. Those are the buttons. Write 320 correct to one significant figure. So one significant figure, that means you're always looking at the first digit and looking to the right of it. That's going to be 300. And part C, 47% of the students in the school are boys. What percentage of the students are girls? 100 take away 47 is 53. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Right, next, question 2. Here is a solid prism made for centimeter cubes. Find the volume of the prism. Okay, so we'll count up the cross-sectional area. Each of these is centimeter cubes. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Apologies. So it's 8 there. And then we'll multiply that by how deep that is. So that is 1, 2, 3 deep. So we're going to have 8 times 3 equals 24 centimeters cubed. So effectively it's 8 there, 8 in the middle, and 8 at the back. Okay, next up. Second part, I don't know if you can see this. Here is a different solid prism. Find the number of faces on the prism. Okay, so the faces are going to be this panel here. We've got underneath, we've got the rear, we've got the front, and we've got that side there. So there's going to be 5 faces. Question 3. Here is a list of numbers. Which one of these numbers is not a square number? 6 times 6, 6 squared, 1 times 1, 3 times 3, 4 times 4, and 24 is not a square number. Should actually say perfect square number to be precise. Peter says the sum of 2 square numbers is always an odd number. Show that Peter is not always correct. All you've got to do here is give one example of when that's not true. So the sum of 2, so the sum is like the total of 2 square numbers, is always an odd number. Let's just try this out. So if we do 1 squared plus 4 squared, that's going to be 1 plus 16 equals 17. Oh, it looks like it worked so far. Maybe I better check another one. 4 squared plus 6 squared is 16 plus 36, and that gets me 52. I have shown that he's not always correct. I've shown that he sometimes is, but not always. Question 4. Find the square root of 3.24. Square root button, 3.24. And we'll write down everything our calculator says. So 9/5 or 1.8. 1.8, 9/5. And for a little bonus point, I wonder if we know what that is as a mixed number. I'll give you 5 seconds to see if you can do it, and then I shall write it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you have got 1 and 4/5. Find the cube of 1.5. 1.5 to the power of 3. I can't quite see my buttons from there. There you go, 1.5 cubed. That is 27 over 8, or 3.375. 27 over 8, or 3.375. Again, can you write this one as a mixed number? 3 and 3 eighths. Number 5. Simplify 3p plus 2p minus p. So you've got 3p plus 2p, you've got 5p, take away a p, 4p. I always try and imagine it as animals. I've got 3 penguins plus 2 more penguins, got 5 penguins, and then one is whisked off on a spaceship somewhere, then I've only got 4 penguins left. Simplify 2x times 3y, 2 times x times 3 times y. Don't be afraid to expand it out like this. Rewrite it with the numbers first and then the letters, and that will help you make sense of things. 2 times 3 times x times y will give you 6xy. Six. Here is a parallelogram. 138 over there. This one's going to be 138. Oops, apologies. There. When you've got a parallelogram, the opposite corners are equal. Okay? We can do a proof another time. Give a reason for your answer. Now, in terms of being able to explain this for the second point, writing down that the opposite angles are equal should suffice, should just about be enough. You could also prove this by looking at parallel lines here. These two are going to be parallel, and this 138 will be a co-interior angle with this one here, which is going to be 42. Okay, and a co-interior angle, let's just write that up there, co-interior angles add up to 180 degrees. What we can also know is that these two are also these two lines here are parallel. The opposite lines are parallel, 2 pairs of parallel lines. If that one is 42, then this one is going to be 42 in there because they're both cutting the horizontal lines at the same angle. So writing this in words in a nice kind of succinct way, opposite angles are equal because there are 2 pairs of parallel lines. That's probably just about enough to get the mark on that one. It might require a bit of further reasoning, but based on the number of marks available, I imagine that will suffice. Question 7. Use your calculator to work out 2.7 divided by 1.3 squared plus 5.1. This is an exercise in typing things in correctly. How can we do this all in one go? 2.7 divided by, open brackets, 1.3 squared plus 5.1, close brackets. If we look at our calculator display, it's 2.7 over all of this. So all of this goes underneath here. And we put it in brackets because we're doing everything underneath there first. And that gets an answer of 270 over 679. 270 over 679. Or 0.397 blah blah blah. Give your answer as a decimal. I'm going to write that to 3 decimal places, 0.398, just because. Question 8. Complete the table of values for x plus y equals 3. So this value plus this value must equal 3. 3 plus nothing is 3. Fill in the easy ones first, and then you'll notice a pattern. 2 plus something equals 3. 1. 1 plus 2 equals 3. Right. To avoid getting confused with the negative numbers, we should be able to see a pattern. 0, 1, 2, 3, blank, 5. All right, 4 goes there then, doesn't it? You can see a nice pattern going. Likewise, this pattern continues. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, negative 1. On the grid, draw the graph of the above equation. This is so wrong so many times by so many people. Careful with the plotting of this. 4 across, negative 1. 4 across, negative 1. 3 across, I'll tick these off as I go. 3 across, negative 0. So I don't plot the same one twice in the wrong space or something. 2 across, 1 up. 1 across, 2 up. 1 across, 2 up. 0 across and 3 up. Negative 1 across and 4 up. And negative 2 across and 5 up. That is not enough at this stage. We now need to get a ruler and join our points up. If in doubt, draw your line through all the points nice and neatly with a ruler. Question 9. Write as a power of 8. Now, some students recently have asked me, do I actually need to calculate these values? Well, A, because it's a calculator, that will do that for you. But B, we can use the laws of indices to help us make this task easier. The first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to tidy up the underneath. The denominator, we've got 8 cubed times by 8 squared, which is the same as 8 to the power of 5. When we are dividing our powers, our indices, the little number on the top subtracts. This little number here. When it's division, that subtracts. So we end up left with 8 to the power of 2. So I can just leave it like that. In brackets, 64. Now, why does this work? Let's write this out in the long form. 8 times 8 times 8 times 8 times 8 times 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All over 8 times 8 times 8 times 8 times 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what we're doing here is we are cancelling out above and below. If 8 goes in the top and the bottom, then it's basically 8 divided by 8 is 1, so they cancel down. We're left with 8 times 8, and I was sick on the floor, 64. Last question, number 10, finally there. Jill drove a distance of 115 miles in 2 hours and 40 minutes. Go Jill. She then drove a further distance of 65 miles in 1 hour and 50 minutes. Good for her. Work out Jill's average speed in miles per hour for the total distance she drove. Okay, so if we are finding average speed, we need to find out her total time and her total distance. So average speed equals total time, total distance, sorry, over total time. Okay, so how far has she travelled? 115 plus 65, 180 miles. And total number of hours, we've got 2 hours and 40 minutes, 1 hour and 50 minutes. So we've got 3 hours and another 90 minutes. So we've got 3 hours plus 90 mins. Little scribbly note there. So that's 3 hours plus 1.5 hours. So we have got over 4.5 hours there. We've got a calculator. We can just jam this into a calculator. Shouldn't be a problem. If you wanted to do this without a calculator, you could double everything. And that makes that a nice whole number. 180 goes to 360, 4.5 goes to 9. We've got an average speed of 40 miles per hour. And if you want to check that out, you see that definitely is true. 180 divided by 4.5 is 40. Sometimes it's nice to know cool little shortcuts like that allow you to do things for non-calculator as well. And that concludes that. Now I'm going to go and do something fun. Goodbye.